disappointing result last night. But for you guys, how do you approach these final two games against the Hawks?
Same way we approached every other game. We're here to win. Routine stays the same, meetings stay the same. We had to put together a lineup last night. That changes. That's the only change we'll make. Rupe won't play. Segi won't play. Everyone knows they're banged up, and so they won't play. So the lineup will change, but we're taking the same approach. We just had a meeting with the players about that. Listen, this team has played very hard all year. I'm very proud of the way these guys have competed with what we've had to face this year in terms of schedule and the injuries and the constant shuffling of lines, constant shuffling of lineup. This team has played very, very hard, and they've played very hard for each other. And we expect to see that tonight and tomorrow night.
Next, we'll go to Matt DeFranks. Matt?
Yeah, Rick, you mentioned the lineup changes for Tyler and Rope. Is that both games they're out?
Yes. Yeah.
And then in terms of other guys, are there other guys you're pulling out? Dennis, who you said he was injured before, or guys?
No, he's fine. Anybody that's healthy and can give us a really good chance to win this game, they're playing.
Next, we'll go to Mike Heika. Mike?
Hey, Rick, anybody going to get a chance who maybe hasn't played much this year, and will that be a good thing?
No, listen, it's one game. So it means it's not going to do anything positive or negative. They haven't been playing. We're going to put the best lineup we can tonight and the best lineup we can put on the ice tomorrow and do everything we can to win these games. Giving a guy one game at this time wouldn't do anything.
Next, we'll go to Bruce Levine. Bruce?
Hey, Bones. This is probably a question better asked later, but it's our last pregame show of the season. When you look at what your team has gone through and how the players have persevered and performed, and your coaching staff and the equipment guys and the medical staff, what do you see from this year?
A couple of things. One, I hope we never have to do it again. This has been grueling. There's just no other way around it on everyone. To go 11 straight weeks here with 4 games every 6 nights. And like I said the other day, during the regular season, you get those 2-3 day breaks. When you get those, you get an opportunity to reflect a little more clearly on the last game you played and how to just think things a little clearer. You have more time. The way we've been going, you have to get, oh God, we're playing tomorrow. So we got to get ready for tomorrow. And so you you just don't get the opportunity to reflect and clear up the whole issue, the big issue. It's just been tough. The equipment managers, man, they deserve medals. We're traveling with the taxi squad. There's all these locker rooms because of the protocol. We've had guys in 3 different locker rooms, right? The medical staff, because of all the injuries and the banged up guys, trying to keep them on the ice, trying to keep them playing. They've been working on incredible. So everyone and the players, again, unless you've been with us, unless you've traveled with us, unless you guys are usually in the locker room, so you see fatigue, you see the facial expressions, you can see it and you can feel it. If you're not here, you can't. And so we see it, we feel it every day. And I got to tell you, I hope I never have to go through anything like this again. But we all wanted to do it. This is what we signed up for, and this is what we were dealt with, and you deal with it. And I give our guys credit. Everyone in this organization has dealt with it as best they can, and I'm proud of that. We've managed the schedule as best we can, everything. So it's been a grind. If you said, okay, this is what you have to do to finish the year, then we'd all sign up. We wouldn't want to, but we do it again. But I'd hope with hell we don't. But I give the whole organization, the media crew, everybody that's had to go through what we've gone through this year, give them all a lot of credit.
Next, we'll go to Saad Youssef. Saad?
Hey, Bones. Just going back to last night, how were you watching that game, or were you just tracking it, and what were your emotions when the result unfolded late?
Well, I watched a little bit and tracking it, and there was an awful pit in my stomach after the end of the game, much like the when we lost in the Stanley Cup Finals last year, in Game 6. And talk to the player; those things stay with you. They do. The disappointment of not getting in after everything I just described, what we went through, you can't put. And I just told them, you can't put that into words. You can't. It's an awful feeling in your stomach, and it'll never go away.
Next, we'll go to Owen Newkirk. Owen?
Yeah, Rick, when you were talking about that feeling, and also earlier with Bruce's question regarding all of the things that you were proud of it went through, is there a little bit of frustration that lingers because you've never had your full complement of roster all season, between injuries to Bishop and Sagan and Radulov and Rope playing through it, that you never had a chance to throw your best lineup out there for a consistent amount of time?
That's why the pit's in my stomach right now. I would have loved to see Bish in the net and have the healthy Rads and the healthy Sagan and roll lines and like you normally do. So we know on paper, a healthy team, we're not even, we're fighting with those other teams for first place in the division. There's no question in my mind. So that's a huge disappointment. But those are things you can't control. You can't. So you can't beat yourself up when they get disappointed. Would we have loved to see our A team out there, just one game, and we couldn't do that. So you deal with the best you can, and that's why I'm proud of the players. They know it, and they played through it, and they played right. Here we are in the last 55 games, 2 games ago, and we just got knocked out last night. So it's disappointing, but it's just like the fact that you missed the playoffs is just an awful feeling.
Next, we'll go to Marc-Antoine Godin. Mark?
Thank you. Hello, Rick. A question from Montreal here. I know it's not the best timing, and it might sound tone deaf a little bit, but briefly, if you may, I would like to go back to last season when you had Corey Perry on your team. When you think of his drive and his love of the game, what did you take out of his stay with the Dallas Stars, and how much did the drive that he has was responsible for him getting into another gear in the playoffs?
He had a big impact on our hockey club. So there's no question, and you can see why he's had a Hall of Fame career. He's a wonderful person. He really is great person, and that's why he fits so well with our group. And tremendous competitor, and he certainly helped us all season long. And again, it was tough for him. It's like Joe when they first come into a new team. The first time you do that, it's tough. You've spent your whole career in one spot for 14, 15 years, and all of a sudden you're going to a new team, new teammates, new lifestyle, new everything. It's different, and it's not an automatic adjustment. It's tough. The second time around, now he goes to Montreal. He's been through that. So now he has that experience to draw on about how to fit in with a new team, new city, new organization, new way of doing things. But I can't speak enough of the positive impact that Corey Perry had on our hockey club. And I'm really, really happy for him that he's doing as well as he's doing in Montreal. He's a wonderful person and a great player, and he's had a marvelous career. But coming in last year, here and coming into Montreal, he would have learned an awful lot by just coming into a new team from last year, which helped him in Montreal. But by the end of the year here, he was an integral part of our team, and he had a huge impact on our success in the playoffs.
Brian Ray, go ahead.
Bones, just Jake or Anton tonight in net?
Anton.
And next we'll go to Matt DeFranks. Matt?
We have two questions. Who comes in for Tyler and Rope? And then you mentioned all the things that you guys couldn't control this season. How do you even go about compartmentalizing kind of the things you can control and the things you can't control in a season that just kind of kept coming at you?
We're going to discuss the lineup now, so that those decisions won't be made immediately. You just do. I mean, you can't beat yourself up on things you can't control. You can't. You learn to deal with them. You learn to roll with the punches. So that's how you deal with it. And you can't control it. You can't control it. You start worrying about all those things, you're taking your mind off and you're planning off what you have to do to deal with it. So you can't lose any sleep over the things you can't control, but you'd have to focus every day on dealing with it in a positive way. Okay, we're going to make the best of this scenario. And that's pretty much how we've handled it all year.
And our last question is from Owen Newkirk. Owen?
Yeah, Rick, on a positive note, Joe Pavelski has a 6-game point streak. He's 7 goals away from 400 in his NHL career. And really starting with the bubble playoffs, he's been a different player for the Stars compared to the first 69 games last season. Just how impressed are you now, having worked with him for 2 seasons, to see his ability to figure things out in Dallas and what he can produce on the ice still at this level and his age?
Yeah, well, he falls into the core Philly. Again, you come to a new team, it takes a while to set in. People think it's easy. It's not. Trust me. So he figured out a way to help this team the best. Listen, we all know top of the circle's down in this league. He's elite. He knows how to get open. He knows where to put a stick for deflections. He knows how to roll off a check so he can get a shot away. He knows how to stand off the side of the net when there's nothing coming to the front because it's all blocked up, and find loose pucks. So he has that offensive knack, and he's been a really good fit with Rupe. Again, Rupe's been playing on pretty much on one leg the whole year, and look at the success they've had. But sometimes in your career, you get with guys, you get a duo with guys, and it works. And sometimes you can't explain it, but you can see it. And so we've had this fit in very well with Rupe. Rupe's great on the rush, great at creating open ice because of his speed, and Pav knows how to follow in behind and make plays and find the loose pucks and find the loose change. He just has offensive instincts from the top of the circles down that enables him to get loose, get free, find the puck, and put it in the net. So it's very, very impressive what he's done.
All right. Thanks so much for your time, Rick. And we'll see everybody back here post game.